The FDOT District 6 Planning Office supports the Miami-Dade TPO as it develops transportation plans and programs to address local priorities in Miami-Dade County. The Planning Office relies on the support of several district partners to bring these deliverables to fruition. Today we recognize the invaluable contributions from our partners in developing these quality deliverables and reflect on our collective accomplishments together. While we are all adjusting to the new normal this past fiscal year, your input and collaboration did not go unnoticed. We want to relive the achievements of the past fiscal year and take this opportunity to express our sincere thanks, letting you know we couldn't have done it without you. The District 6 Planning and Modal Offices continue to hold weekly coordination meetings with the TPO. Having the appropriate staff at all levels from each agency at these coordination meetings facilitated ongoing communication and sharing of information to avoid duplication of efforts and allowed for the progress on critical items to be efficiently handled. With these meetings, the turnaround times for invoices, amendments, reviews, and other issues were significantly reduced, thereby improving the coordination between FDOT and the TPO. This is considered a best practice as it yields optimum results and is not done elsewhere in the state of Florida. Each month, FDOT's Office of Policy Planning hosts a Metropolitan Planning Partners Coordination meeting. In this forum, District MPO liaisons are able to engage in a robust dialogue with the Policy Planning Office and each other while receiving updates, as well as training, exploring best practices and lessons learned. The annual certification of the TPO was completed well in advance of the June due date. Several district offices, including the Modal Development, Work Program, and local agency program offices, participated in this process. The certification package was signed by the TPO and our new district secretary, Ms. Stacy Miller, in May 2021. The Long-Range Transportation Plan is updated every 5 years. Although the past fiscal year was not an update year, the District 6 Planning Office continued to monitor ongoing projects to ensure that they were correctly reflected in the LRTP. A modification to the 2045 LRTP was needed to move the Golden Glades Truck Travel Center project from Priority 2 to Priority 1. And another modification was needed to remove a duplicate project from the Turnpike Enterprise project listing. Collaboration between district planning, modal development, and work programming offices, as well as the Turnpike Enterprise, was required on these efforts. Every year, the TPO develops a list of priority projects based on projects prioritized in the LRTP. Last year, the TPO prepared this list for fiscal year 2022 to 2026 TIP development cycle. This included project proposals from the TIP committee members, county departments, and local municipalities. The list reflected a variety of project types such as smart plan projects, capacity improvement projects, and projects soliciting federal and state grants to be managed by local agencies. After the list of priority projects was transmitted to FDOT for processing, the district work program, project managers, modal development, and lab offices, as well as district planning staff, coordinated with the TPO to ensure appropriate funding for the list of projects based on funding availability. Despite funding constraints due to COVID-19, the TPO's priorities were funded and transmitted to the TPO in December 2020. As part of the work program development, the District Program Management Administrator, Ms. Antoinette Adams, presented the district's tentative work program to various TPO committees. This included the Transportation Planning Technical Advisory Committee and Transportation Improvement Program Committee. This allowed coordination with TPO board and committee members, as well as the endorsement of district's work program by the TPO board in December 2020. The Transportation Improvement Program, or TIP, defines a prioritized listing of transportation projects for the next 5 years. The Planning Office, along with their consultants, worked with the work program, the district project managers, the modal development, and lab offices to provide the TPO with FDOT project information to be included in the full TIP, which lists project details including funding and performance measures. The Citizens TIP, a user-friendly, pictorial condensed version of the TIP. And finally, the photo book of FDOT major projects for the Interactive, which is an online interactive version of the TIP. The TIP was approved by the TPO board in May 2021. The Unified Planning Work Program, which is updated every 2 years, identifies the planning budget and tasks the TPO plans to perform over the next 2 fiscal years. The current version of the UPWP goes from fiscal years 2021 and 2022. Even though this was not an update year, the District Planning Office continued to coordinate with the TPO to ensure that any changes or amendments were addressed in a timely manner. These efforts included reviewing revisions and amendment forms that resulted from additional scope or changes due to movement of funds between UPWP tasks. The District Planning Office collaborated with Modal Development, Federal Highway Administration, Federal Transit Administration, and its consultants to expedite the review and approval of UPWP amendments and revisions. The District Planning Office continued to maintain the SharePoint website implemented by the District Office of Information Technology to keep track of numerous inquiries or correspondence from various stakeholders. Among the several correspondence, a response was prepared to TPO board member Heyman, addressing an inquiry about the Julia Tuttle Bus and Shoulder project. The Planning Office, coordinating with several district departments, in formulating responses for district leadership, including the district secretary and district directors for their review and signature. Regional collaboration in the planning process continued to be a prominent activity. The Planning Office worked to ensure an agreement was finalized for the development of the Southeast Regional Planning Model, SERPM version 9, a major collaboration within the Tri-County region. Following the Memorandum of Understanding between the Miami-Dade TPO, the Broward MPO, the Palm Beach TPA, and FDOT Districts 4 and 6, a contract was executed. This effort required collaboration between the District 6 Planning, Procurement, Legal Office, as well as Districts 4 and 6 Work Program Offices and Federal Aid in Central Office. The Efficient Transportation Decision-Making Process, known as ETDM, allows the potential environmental impacts from transportation projects to be considered early in their development. It helps project managers develop scopes of services for the PD&E phase of projects. The 2020-2021 fiscal year was a very busy year for ETDM activity with the screening of 10 projects. Area of interest reviews were conducted for 5 projects. 3 NEPA class of actions were approved by FDOT Office of Environmental Management. A SEER class of action was approved by District 6, which all resulted in the publication of 4 final program screening summary reports for the Snake Creek Bridge Rehabilitation Project in Isla Morada, the I-95 Improvement Project from Miami Garden Drive to Broward County Line, the Palmetto Expressway Improvement Project from 25th Street to 154th Street, and the Quail Roost Drive Improvement Project from Southwest 137th Avenue to Southwest 127th Avenue. A sociocultural effects evaluation was conducted for the I-195 State Road 112 Julia Tuttle Causeway multimodal project, which led to the completion of a preliminary programming screen summary report in January 2021. Project limits extend from west of I-95 in the city of Miami to Alton Road in Miami Beach. The planning office was able to complete all these ETDM activities with the assistance from its consultant, the District 6 Environmental Management Office, the District 6 project managers, and the scoping team and FDOT Office of Environmental Management. Planning consistency is critical in the planning process and requires that the LRTP, TIP, STIP, and environmental documents all reflect consistent project descriptions and information before a given project can receive federal approval. The District Planning Office worked with District Project Managers, Environmental Office, Lab Office, Work Program Office, and the TPO to ensure planning consistency was met on several projects for the recently completed fiscal year. Among the projects that required planning consistency coordination was the Ludlam Trail project. Throughout the year, several scopes of work were submitted by the TPO to FDOT for review. The District Planning Office garnered input from other district offices to provide valuable feedback to enhance efforts and avoid duplication. Among the scopes reviewed were the Golden Glades Multimodal Transportation Facility Bicycle and Pedestrian Eastside Connectivity Scope, the South Dade Transitway Existing Conditions Intersection Area Inventory Scope that included review from the Modal Office. The other scope reviewed was for the Miami-Dade telecommuting study, for which FDOT District 6 provided survey data in coordination with the Florida International University. The District Planning Office is also involved in management of grants to municipalities and universities. Some of these included funding to Monroe County for long and short range planning, multiple grants to the University of Miami for bike safe and walk safe educational programs, and funding to the City of Sweetwater for a planning study. Several district partners were involved with this effort, including financial services, work program, procurement, legal, as well as the lab offices. In December of 2020, at the request of TPO board member Pepe Diaz, Mr. Daniel Iglesias, District Director of Transportation Development, along with other district staff, led a bus tour of TPO board members to show the proposed southbound improvements at Northwest 103rd Street for the Palmetto Expressway Phase 2 project. The bus tour was a resounding success in enhancing the ongoing collaboration between the department and the TPO on major transportation projects in the greater Miami-Dade planning area. A special word of thanks to Director Iglesias and his team for going the extra mile to conduct the necessary public outreach. In January 2021, the recommended alternative for the Smart Plan Flagler Corridor was presented to the TPO board. The board supported FDOT's continued efforts with a Tier 3 refinement analysis of curbside bus rapid transit, which is being led by the Modal Development Office. Director Danny Iglesias participated in the board meeting, answering board members' questions. In the past year, the district has partnered with the TPO on outreach to stakeholders and the public in Miami-Dade County to inform them on FDOT efforts. The statewide Traffic and Railroad Initiative, better known as Operation Stride, was presented to TPO subcommittees including the Freight Advisory Committee and the Bicycle Pedestrian Advisory Committee in November and December of 2020, respectively. The TPO also assisted in sharing the Florida Transportation Plan at their February 2021 Governing Board meeting. The Planning Office coordinated with several district departments in these outreach efforts, including the Model Development Office, the Public Information Office, Production and Procurement, and our district directors. As you can see, we accomplished a lot together over the past year. The District Planning Office wants to give a big thank you to our partners for helping us deliver on all we're able to achieve. We look forward to continued collaboration with you this year so that come next year, we'll have even more accomplishments to celebrate. And as a final reminder, always remember, there's no one someone won't miss. We must all work together to eliminate traffic fatalities.